Every day, hundreds of thousands of patrolmen report for duty, armed with a badge and the latest in video technology. You are about to witness their never-before-seen footage. Their stories, caught on tape. A stolen car takes down a tree. An outraged suspect nearly takes down a cop. A fleeing suspect takes down himself. A raid hits the jackpot, and it's loaded. And a teacher hands down a detention the hard way. No matter how you look at it, it's disorderly conduct. Videotaping police chases in Los Angeles is dangerous work. Tonight, a cameraman catches a suspected car thief on the run. The car clips an armored truck in an intersection and almost hits the videographer. But the cameraman never loses his cool or his focus as the car just misses him and skids across the street. The sedan slams into a large tree that lands on top of the car, trapping the driver in the wreckage. The officers have no idea if the driver is armed or even alive. One officer tries to pry open the damaged door, while another grabs a fire extinguisher. The door is too damaged, so the officer uses a Halligan tool to break the glass. They pull back the airbag to try to see if the driver's jammed underneath. Finally, they pull him free through the passenger side. He's cuffed, and officers check him for injuries as a fire truck arrives. Firemen contain the smoking wreckage as the injured suspect is taken to the hospital. His injuries are not life-threatening, which is amazing when you look at the car. Now he faces a charge of felony evading arrest. The occupants of the security truck are unharmed. One lucky cameraman avoided death or serious injury by inches and caught everything on tape. Texas State Trooper Barry Goins has just pulled over this car for speeding. A woman trooper in the foreground keeps an eye on the driver while Trooper Goins tries to talk the passenger out of the car.
Okay, we'll stand out here.
Ain't it against the law for you to stand outside?
No, it's against law for you not to do what I told you to do. Come on out here. We can do it the easy way or we can do it the hard way. Which way you want to go?
Get outside. Don't move.
Hold up.
Don't move, man. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move, lady. Don't move, lady.
In a terrifying instant, the passenger steps out and puts a gun at Trooper Goins' throat. Trooper Goins pulls his own gun while grabbing the suspect's pistol with his left hand. The suspect, still armed, runs off as the trooper empties his clip, along with his partner, who shoots off camera. It's every trooper's worst nightmare, but incredibly, no one was injured in this harrowing incident as the suspect escapes into the woods for now.
Shots fired, shots fired. We are not injured. We've been involved in a shooting incident.
Backup help arrives in moments as the troopers search the scene.
He did fire one round, did not strike either one of the troopers.
As the shock of the moment sets in, Trooper Goins can hardly believe he's still standing. The driver of the car was not charged. The suspect was on work release from prison and was later caught. As a result of this incident, he was charged with aggravated assault on a police officer and sentenced to life in prison. It's a stolen car pursuit in Sylmar, California that hits 125 miles an hour. The highway patrolman moves in to use the precision immobilization technique, the pit maneuver. The SUV spins and skids backwards into the wall, bumping a white van in the fast lane. But before the vehicle even stops, the suspect runs. He falls, then dashes across the crowded freeway, trips and slams into a guardrail. He makes it into the brush, but he doesn't get far. The suspect injures himself during his tumbles and is taken to the hospital. He's then charged with grand theft auto, hit and run, driving under the influence of drugs, and receiving stolen property. And this perfect maneuver brought it all to an end. Cincinnati, Ohio. There's a report of possible gang violence at a local high school. Officers from throughout the Vaughn Hill area of town respond to the call. As units near the school, traffic is backed up, so some officers utilize an alternative route. Students gather outside to see what's going on. If it's action they want, they're about to get it. As the officer with the dash cam goes to survey the neighborhood, a call goes out about a suspect on the run. He circles back towards the school, and moments later comes face to face with this. An 18-year-old man trying to outrun police takes a direct hit from a squad car. News of the accident and the heavy police presence brings the disturbance to an end. The officer would later say he was trying to cut the suspect off and thought that he would stop. The teenager suffers a broken leg and is charged with resisting arrest, criminal damaging, and disorderly conduct. It's a quiet day at this convenience store in Rialto, California. But everything's about to change for this clerk. The customer in the hooded sweatshirt is up to no good. He asked about a soft drink, but he's really casing the store and even studies the surveillance camera. He strolls away and then comes back. He digs in his pocket, pretending to reach for change, glances around the store, and pulls a gun. Now the situation gets very dangerous. That's a serious threat that could make most folks hand over the money. But not this clerk. This store's been robbed before, and he's had enough. A couple of customers are about to enter the store when they see the fight and run. The robber's got a loaded gun, but still, the cashier fights back. the clerk's hanging on to the suspect, who tries to make a deal. The gun fires. But amazingly, the shot misses the clerk. The suspect runs. And a battered clerk follows him out of the store. Tackling an armed robber may not be the smartest move, but this video leads to the man's arrest and conviction. He now serves 10 years in state prison for assault and armed robbery.
Okay, we're gonna go up the branch and then I'll stop them.
Officers in Medina, Ohio, pull over a suspected stolen car.
18 and branch.
Backup units arrive when the driver decides to make a run for it.
Pursuit, on branch.
Several more police cars join the pursuit with dashboard cameras rolling.
Okay, 230's primary. 215, copy direct. 240, you run the traffic. Everybody else keep it quiet.
The officers try to slow the suspects down as the chase rolls into a residential neighborhood.
Okay, watch it. 230, let me squeeze in there too. Go ahead. Get a rolling roadblock here. Where you at?
Two patrol cars try to box the suspects in
Okay, box them in.
as a third unit approaches head-on.
We're coming at you. We're coming at you.
It looks like the cops have the driver trapped,
Get it, box him in. 230, box him in.
but he's too quick.
Okay, we're going towards the plaza on Abbeville. 230, let me squeeze in there too.
Moments later, they try again, this time with better luck. Any way you look at it, things don't look good for the suspects in the stolen car. But they make one more attempt to flee. They are forced off the road through a gas station and get hung up on a rock after ramming one of the pursuing squad cars. Officers move in fast and subdue all the suspects. One police officer suffered minor injuries, as did the suspect behind the wheel,
Pursuit, on branch.
who was also hit with felony charges of receiving stolen property and fleeing. With his arm resting on the door, this driver looks like he's out for a casual drive in Westminster, California. But you're watching a suspected stolen vehicle and a chase a news veteran dubs one of the most dangerous high-speed pursuits he's ever seen. The suspect barrels down the shoulder of the freeway and then suddenly takes the SUV off-roading across the vegetation in a desperate bid to get away. Back on the road, he smokes his tires. California Highway Patrol tracked the vehicle from the ground and the air. As he crosses all lanes, the driver of the silver car tries to block him. Traffic is completely jammed, but he forces his way through. With nowhere to run, he jumps the center median and heads down the wrong side of the road. The suspect blazes through an intersection where several elementary school students are crossing the street. With no traffic on this residential street, the CHP officer makes his move. The suspect spins out onto a street sign. He loses his rear bumper, and smoke pours out from under his hood, but nothing seems to stop this driver. He flees up to the main road. This suspect seems unstoppable. He avoids the police and barely misses innocent motorists. Now he flies through a busy intersection and comes inches from being rear-ended. Then he's back on the wrong side of the road, barely missing oncoming traffic. And just when it seems this chase cannot become any more bizarre, he's blocked by a train. He's forced to turn right, with a CHP unit right behind. He tries his luck at off-roading again. Finally, his luck runs out. He slams into a tree. And now it's a chase on foot. He's losing his pants, but he doesn't slow down. Officers are right behind him. Two civilians try to jump in, but miss the shifty suspect. Suddenly, he turns to fight the cop. The suspect is taken down, and reinforcements arrive. Now the man faces a slew of charges and a stint in jail. After one of the most dangerous and reckless pursuits these officers have ever seen. Police raid a home in Ingleside, Texas. Officers suspect that this man was involved in an assault with a deadly weapon. They think he may have a stash of guns here at his grandmother's house.
Forward! Get your hands back! Get your hands back! Get your hands back! I'm trying, dog. What's going on? Cuffs! Handcuffs! Put your hand behind your back. I'm cool, though. Damn, what's all that about?
He's handcuffed and seated as the cops explain why they raided the home.
What's the warrant for?
You got two, a blue warrant, and then you got one for aggravated assault with deadly weapon. And then we have a search warrant for this house.
As his grandmother listens, the man has read his rights.
You have the right to remain silent, not make any statement or anything you say can will be used against you in court of law. You have the right to have a lawyer with you. You understand your rights?
I understand.
The officer explains how the suspect can make this easy on everyone.
Okay, you understand that? Second warrant for aggravated assault with deadly weapon. We have a search warrant for this house. This is your grandma's house, dude. I hope you have enough respect for your grandma so we don't have to tear this place up. We're looking for a weapon and ammunition. We know where it's at. Tell me now. Direct us to it. Show us where it's at. We'll get it. Then we're out of here. Grandma's safe.
And his grandma is the suspect's biggest concern.
Me and your grandma was here. So we knocked on the door. We knocked on the door. We got grandma's attention first before we did that to this door. Give us that much. We took that much into consideration. Now, extend the same courtesy and respect to us and don't play no hardball. Let us know where the gun's at, the bullets are at. We take you to jail, you go to county, you find out, you're back out. You know the process.
The suspect leads the officers to his secret hiding place, a hole in the ceiling of the closet.
You see the green tape? I'm gonna reach for it. It's in the hole. How about the bullets now? Is anything else up here?
That's one loaded weapon. And a second gun. The evidence is recorded by the officer with the video camera.
6 rounds, 2 loaded magazines, 1 magazine, 6 rounds.
We got 3 rounds of all ammunition. We got 3 rounds of hollow point. 38 special.
Officers check the rest of the house. They have found what they were looking for.
That's it.
Now the suspect faces charges of assault with a deadly weapon. It's commonly referred to as the drunk tank, and it's often the first stop for DUI suspects. Tonight in Orlando, Florida, this young woman finds herself paying a visit. She immediately makes it clear that she is not pleased to be here. As 2 officers restrain her, she is reminded that she's being watched.
I want mega witnesses. Got it?
You got all the witnesses you want. You're on video camera right now, young lady.
She claims she wasn't behind the wheel, then forcefully makes her point.
I wasn't driving. I wasn't driving a vehicle. Get it straight, baby.
What is your name?
Get it straight. I wasn't driving. Get it straight.
As an officer calmly reads the charges, the woman continues to express herself both verbally
My damn vehicle. Get off my feet. You off. Y'all know you're catching up on me. Yeah, you got for me.
and physically.
I was gonna be a cop. Get off me.
Finally, the woman is ready to be taken to jail,
Get off me. Sexual harassment.
and the officers are ready to take a break. A man and a woman lead police on a pursuit through the streets of Dallas, Texas. The driver is suspected of stealing his brother's SUV, and he shows no intention of stopping. He drives on both sides of the road and dodges oncoming traffic. And moments later, he takes a turn a little too wide. The SUV rides a utility support wire and then flips over. Seconds later, officers arrive and yank the occupants out of the vehicle. Neither is seriously injured, and both are taken into custody. That's a suspected stolen car in Spring Valley, California. Officers keep their distance as he flies through a quiet residential neighborhood on the wrong side of the road. He hits this dip so hard, the car slams the road. He barrels through intersections and passes cars on the inside. Now he almost hits a van coming down the hill as his driving becomes more and more erratic. He almost hits another vehicle and makes a hard turn into a parking lot. Police are right behind him. He heads for a high school parking lot at high speed. A concrete barrier blocks him. The cop almost gets him, but he jumps out of the way and runs toward the school. No easy task when he's only got one shoe. Even without his shoe, it looks as though he may escape. The cop's far behind. But he doesn't count on one tough teacher who takes a swing at him. This teacher holds the suspect till the cop catches up with his gun drawn. Reinforcements arrive as the teacher looks on. Now the suspect faces several charges, including felony car theft. And this teacher taught him a big lesson about trying to outrun the law. A driver tries to outrun police through the streets of Southern California's San Fernando Valley. A license check shows the vehicle is stolen, and it's soon obvious that the suspect has no plans to pull over. Other drivers desperately do their best to get out of his way, and a crowd gathers as he begins to circle the area. Officers even have to tell bystanders to back off.
Clear the area.
This suspect apparently thinks it's more important to get on camera than to get away as he circles the intersection. As the crowd grows larger, the driver continues his deadly game of cat and mouse with police. Here, he tosses something out the window. He might as well be tossing out his future because his freedom is about to come to an end. Then he returns to the same intersection one last time. And the pursuit is finally over. He's quickly arrested and taken off the streets. Four underage youths try to outrun police outside Brigham City, Utah. The driver of this stolen car dangerously passes slower vehicles. Officers believe this foursome's been on a crime spree, stealing snowboards, CDs, stereos, and cell phones. Now they attempt to flee at nearly 100 miles an hour. They approach the town of Honeyville, where police have set up a spike strip. The spike strip disables the car, and now they flee on foot. The spotlight picks out one youth, and then the light shines on a second runner. That second suspect can't make it over the fence. Another officer runs up and starts a search for the others. This youngster is arrested. And by the end of the evening, the rest are captured. All four are charged with possession of a stolen vehicle, stolen property, evading, and reckless endangerment. Boynton Beach, Florida. A young woman is on her way to a hair appointment in preparation for an upcoming modeling competition. An officer decides to follow after clocking her at 16 miles an hour over the speed limit.
All right, close the door for me, please.
It isn't long before things turn testy.
For speeding, you're doing 51 miles an hour. The speed limit down on Seacrest is 35. Yeah, I have a radar unit in my car that'll tell me exactly how fast you're going.
You're not allowed to clock anybody while you're driving.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead and tell me my job. I need to see your driver's license, registration, and insurance.
Through it all, the officer remains calm and reinforces why he pulled her over.
Okay, to clarify why I was stopping you, you're doing 51, the speed limit's 35, you have a broken windshield, you're not wearing your seatbelt, and you have a brake light out.
When the officer returns to his car, he calls for backup and learns that the driver also has a suspended license. Now he's ready to make an arrest, but she insists on calling a friend.
Step out of the vehicle for me. Put your phone down.
No, I'm calling somebody.
I'm gonna tell you one more time. Put your phone down.
The police pulled me over and
The officer has had enough.
he's arresting me. Stop, don't touch me. The policeman is, you're gonna shoot me? He's got a gun and he's gonna shoot me.
Get out of the car now, or I'm going to tase you. Get out of the car now, or I'm gonna tase you. I'm gonna tell you one more time. I'm gonna tell you one more time. Get out of the car.
After warning the woman 3 times, the officer fires his taser gun. Sending a prong of 50,000 volts of electricity into her left arm.
Do it now.
When she doesn't do as told, he fires the taser again. An ambulance is called, but after a few minutes, the woman is able to walk.
It's over and done with. We've been tased before. We know it's not that bad.
Police would later say that the woman tried to assault the officer on the passenger side when he reached for her cell phone. They also say they were concerned she might have a weapon in the car, as well as when she was on the ground.
On your stomach.
She's later charged with driving on a suspended license and resisting arrest without violence. And even after all this, she went on to compete in the modeling competition.
Next time you won't fight with us.
One of 4 occupants of this white expedition allegedly fired a sawed-off shotgun. Now, Florida cops are behind them. We ride with the lead pursuit car. Corporal Billy Morris drives with a trainee beside him, hitting nearly 100 miles an hour in Seminole County, Florida. With an open road ahead, Corporal Morris asks permission to pull off a pit maneuver.
Roll rescue. Myself and my 10-4 over 10-4.
He performs the pit and sends the expedition down the freeway. It lands on its roof, but the impact spins Corporal Morris out and into the guardrail. That's Corporal Morris's patrol car on the left side of the screen, and those sparks are from the rolling SUV. Cops check on the 4 suspects in the SUV and find the sawed-off shotgun. Now they face felony assault and fleeing charges. Corporal Morris and his passenger are just fine after their frightening high-speed spin.
911, we have a severe emergency.
Yes, there's some psycho guy. He's passing me. He's come up on a curb.
Sorry, ma'am.
Police respond to a chilling 911 call in Livonia, Michigan, from 2 pregnant women who are trapped in their car by a man in an SUV who is trying to ram them against a wall.
Oh my God, he's gonna hit us. He's hitting me.
He's ramming us. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what is going on?
He's moving our car.
Okay,
And now he's
put
blowing
your
kisses
car.
at us.
Now he's what?
Blowing kisses at us. Oh my God!
Ma'am, what's going on?
He's pushing us.
Okay, I understand. Code 3, yeah. Oh my God.
The 911 operator tries to keep the women calm while officers make their way to the scene.
In the car. How hard is he pushing you? Is he moving
Very
you?
hard.
You guys can't drive away from him? All right, I'm getting help as fast as I can, ma'am.
The officers finally arrive to see this. The suspect seems intent on crushing the women's car as he spins and smokes his tires. Police hit the man's bumper to make their presence known. And he stops. They quickly move in and pull him from the SUV. With the suspect in custody, one of the officers goes to check on the women. They are traumatized. The man is charged with operating his vehicle while intoxicated and felonious driving. As for his reason for ramming the women in the first place, it remains unclear. This Cadillac is stolen, and the woman at the wheel leads cops through Weehawken, Florida at nearly 100 miles an hour.
There he goes. He's signal 4 telephone pole. Just give me EMS.
She loses control, swerves to the right, then all the way to the left into a ditch, and finally slams into a power pole. High voltage sparks fly. The impact severs the pole. The car is upside down, surrounded by arcing power cables carrying thousands of volts.
I ain't getting on the power line. Just watch it. Watch it.
The officers need to get to the woman, who may be seriously injured or worse. But they risk their own lives if they touch one of those cables.
We ain't seen nobody run.
Ignoring the deadly danger, one officer tries to find a way around the fallen power lines. He spots the woman in the grass next to the wreckage.
Hey, can you hear me? Don't move, okay? Don't move. Just lay real still, okay? I got a white female on the ground on this side. Yeah, one white female has been ejected out of the car. She's on the ground. Only one in the vehicle.
The woman is obviously in pain. Finally, the power is turned off and help arrives. When the wrecker gets to the scene, the extensive damage to the Cadillac is revealed. The woman is stabilized in the field and taken to the hospital. Now she faces charges of grand theft auto, aggravated fleeing, and eluding law enforcement officers. It's a heartbreaking theft, and these are the littlest victims. The in-store webcam catches 2 masked suspects as they snatch 12 puppies from a pet shop in Orlando, Florida. They steal only the smallest breeds worth more than $5,000. But without their documentation, these little creatures have little street value. The devastated owner is more worried about the puppy's welfare and offers a $2,000 reward for their safe return. And now he plans to add a guard dog to his canine family. A high-speed chase of a stolen BMW heads into Los Angeles. But now the chase hits Hollywood, and everything slows down and gets strange. The cameraman sees the car coming and scrambles out of his vehicle. But even he can't imagine what happens next. They're in a stolen car. They face additional charges of assault on officers for their actions during the chase, and now they show off for the cameras. If that's not enough, now they do donuts in the intersection right in front of the officers. They're all over the road, posing for passers-by. Then the driver really pushes his luck and climbs out of the window. Moments later, it's all over. Officers perform a pit maneuver and block the BMW in. Cops caution the cameraman. Both suspects are quickly arrested. It turns out the driver and his passenger are only 16 and 17 years old, but that does not stop them from facing 2 assault charges, felony evading, and charges of stealing the BMW. It's a treacherous Thanksgiving Day in Cincinnati. Officer Jerome Inneking's car has just been hit as he investigates an accident. Officer Inneking runs out to check on the other motorists. A speeding car slams into the officer and hurls it under the car in front. An eyewitness runs up to help the injured officer jammed under the car. Emergency vehicles finally arrive. Officer Inneking suffers leg injuries in this horrifying crash, but miraculously, he still manages to make it home for Thanksgiving dinner with his family. A powerful spotlight from a news chopper catches a speeding truck roaring down a Los Angeles freeway. Police on the ground close in, but the driver has no intention to stop. But take a closer look at that speeding truck. Those are sparks and smoke coming from the left rear tire. In fact, the tire is completely gone. Any sudden move by the driver will send the vehicle somersaulting. Despite the fact he's running at more than 70 miles an hour on only 3 wheels, the driver changes lanes and amazingly manages to stay on the road. The suspect exits the freeway. That's where things get really tricky. The raw metal of the rim shoots out sparks as the truck careens sideways. Then it's a hard left turn into a mini mall. He's out of the truck and on the run. The truck comes to a rest gently against a barrier, but this wanted man is headed for a much harder landing. It may have been one hot pursuit, but now this man's going to be cooling his heels in jail.
You got slurred speech, I can't hardly understand you. I smell a strong alcoholic beverage coming from your breath. You understand?
I've been drinking.
You been drinking?
Yes, sir.
This is one honest drunk, if you can understand him.
All right,
Draft beer?
Draft beer?
Yes, sir.
Honest and very polite.
I'm gonna run you on the machine, all right?
Yeah. I appreciate that.
We'll go from there, all right?
Yes, sir.
You understand?
I understand.
All right.
Deputy Ray Hall stops this intoxicated cowboy in his truck after several calls from concerned citizens in Boonville, Mississippi.
Walk back here and put you in the chauffeur.
Yes, sir.
It's a wobbly walk to the car, but the man makes it to the station.
Can you put your feet together for me? Yeah. All right. Do you have any physical impairments?
No, sir.
No, sir. All right. You wear eyeglasses?
No, sir.
Wear contacts?
No, sir.
All right, what I want you to do, if you don't care, you see tip my pen?
But he's so drunk, he can't even follow the pen.
Just follow it with your eyes, okay? You see it over here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Right over here.
Yes, sir.
And as for walking,
Put your foot just like this. You hear that?
Right.
On this line.
That's a nice cowboy two-step, but it doesn't get him off the hook.
Roll into it just like you're rolling into a straw. Go hard.
He's breathalyzed and booked for being 3 times over the legal limit and faces a hefty fine and jail time. But we do have to give him high marks.
I appreciate that.
For manners.
You understand?
I've been drinking.
You been drinking?
Yes, sir.
Honesty.
Draft beer.
And dancing.
All right, go and have a seat right here for me, all right? Yes, sir.
Cherry Sunday.